Hi, hi, how's it going?
Awesome as usual. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm excited about today's topic. We will be diving into networking at Web3 conferences.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the topic. I think it's very important since right now it's the season for all of the great conferences that are happening. And we'll
Yep,
actually cover which conferences are coming up soon. So
yep.
keep watching and you will probably make yourself a plan for the next couple months.
Do you want to show your screen to start
Sure.
with the conferences that are coming up for this season?
You know what? I want to start a little bit differently. Let me just talk a little bit about the conferences and then we're going to dive into which conferences are coming up. So,
Okay.
first, I want to talk about something that most people probably miss when they're coming, especially to their first conference. It's, how to prepare for a conference. It sounds, simple, but a lot of people miss the
Hmm.
point. So I think that a great way to, kind of the number one thing that you need to do to prep well for a conference is good morning, hey, you have to have a QR code which will have all of your contact information, such as socials, if you have a great portfolio, have a link to your portfolio and such, so that when you meet people, when you network, you can share your contact information quick. Or, for example, if you're the old style person, you can also have business cards and kind of give out the business cards to people. This way, if they're interested in hiring you, or if you are promoting your project, this way they will have a physical object or a QR code that they scanned and they can save it to their contacts. And there's so many different apps that can do it. For example, this is not a promotion in any way. Hey, this is not a promotion in any way, but for example, I personally use it's completely free. It's called Popl, Popl. Very
Hmm.
simple. So you just go and you just download the app and you put all of your contact information inside. Anybody can scan your QR code and they have everything. So I think that's awesome. Next thing that Lacey, by the way, anything you would like to add to this point?
Yeah, so we're just diving into all of the ways you can transfer your contact information from point A to point B. And so Popl is great. I'm trying to find it right now. For some reason, I can't. But whenever I go out, I have a QR code that people can scan, and it brings me to our link in bio right here. Link in bios, I've seen some pretty incredible ones for resumes and our link in bio looks a little bit different because we have all of these different channels and stuff that we're trying to promote. But I've seen link in bios where you link your resume, you link your portfolio, your Twitter, other projects you've worked on that you love, any clips, if you're a content creator or a marketer, any video clips that you've done. Um, and I think this is a great way to send a bunch of contact information at one time. And all you need is that QR code. So link in bio does that. There's a ton of other sites that you can connect. You can just overlay that QR code to whatever social you're trying to push people to.
Yeah, and yeah, this is how mine looks. Kind of looks
Yeah.
this way. So I just have all of
Oh,
my
nice.
information. So chief of staff for Metaintro, and then LinkedIn, Discord for Metaintro. Like I didn't put my personal Discord,
Nice.
I put all of the links to Metaintro. So for example, YouTube channel to Metaintro. So this is also something that
Nice.
if you are working in a startup, you're going to this event and you want to promote. For example, in my place, I just went to Quantum Miami and I was promoting Meta Intro. So any person that came up to me, start a conversation, I would talk about Meta Intro and I would be like, here you go, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it was very simple because all I do is just press here. One second. I just press here and it takes me to a QR code. People
Yeah.
scan it and they have all of our information, which I think is
And
great.
you could put that QR code in your Apple Wallet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is the map of but I have it even better.
Nice.
I have it right here as an app. So I
Oh,
just
nice.
press and it just pulls up the QR code, which is super simple. And
Nice.
I do have it in my wallet as well.
That's
Um,
awesome. The Popple is interesting too. I know somebody that just did that, and if you've ever had a Popple card, they're heavy duty cards, and the idea is all you need to do is hi, my name's so and so. You go through your networking conversation, and they're like, how do I get in touch with you? You take out your card and you just tap their phone, and then it brings up whatever you told the Popple to bring up, and then they have it in their phone right away. But isn't can't I feel like it might be Popl, it might be another one. Maybe
No,
it's
no,
stock
Popl
cards
also does it. Yeah, I mean, there. I mean, honestly,
where
yeah, where you just you
where it
take
adds the
the
contact
card,
information
you
too.
touch it, and then it just pops up. It's I mean,
Yeah.
it's NFC based. So anything, I mean, Popl, there's so many alternatives to Popl, so many competitors that yeah, you can just what they do? They even have like a bracelet that you can put on your hand, and you just tap
Yeah.
device, and it's gonna pop up all of your information.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
lots of cool
Do
stuff.
you do you want to bring up the list of conferences that are coming up?
100%. There we go. 1 second. Yeah. So let me scroll down. We are not in January anymore. So the next one that is coming up is FinTech and Crypto Summit. And it's from 15th to 16th February. I think that's great. It's happening in Bahrain.
Where
If
is
you're in
that?
Bahrain, I would suggest coming out and checking out this
What
conference.
site is this?
This is Pony Insights.
Hmm.
It's a funny name.
Hmm. Okay.
If you want, I know that you have also a list of conferences. If you want, we can use yours.
No, I'm just curious. Just whenever you're looking at the upcoming season, you'll probably have to cross-reference a few different sites.
Yeah.
This one I haven't seen before. I was using December Labs. December Labs is pretty good. Um, but we can go through yours first, and then we can go through the one that I have up.
Sure, yeah. This one is just till June, I think. So the next after that, we're gonna have Blockchain Fest happening in
Mhm.
Singapore from 16th
Nice.
to 17th February. Yeah, if you're in Singapore, if you're traveling to Singapore, I would highly
Hmm.
suggest checking it out. Lots of great I mean, you will be able to meet lots of great people from the industry and just build connections and your network. So if
Yeah,
you're rich,
Singapore would be fun.
yeah, Singapore would be awesome. I would love to go to Singapore.
Yeah.
Never been there. Then the next one is Blockchain Economy London Summit. It's going to be a big one. I
Yeah.
think the summit is all over the place. It's happening from 27th to 28th of February in London, UK. So if you're in London, if you're in EU and have ability to travel to London,
Yeah.
stop by. It's going to be big. There's going to be lots of
Yeah.
great speakers and lots of just people that you can meet.
Yes. And some of, I also understand that some of these conferences are really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Like I've seen tickets of upwards of like $2,500 a ticket, which is insane. And it really defeats the purpose of democratizing access into this space when the ticket prices are so high. And so I feel like that discourages people from going to these events. But if I were you, and like, let's say you really want to go to this London summit, and you're like, hey, but the ticket's super expensive, and then you have to factor in the price of hotel, the travel, the food, the networking events. It gets really pricey. Oftentimes, these events will have like tickets that are sponsored. Like they'll sponsor 50 people to come for free or at a discounted price, or individuals that are students. Sometimes, if you go through the hackathons that are happening at these events, you can get a free ticket. So there's a few different ways that you can get creative in order to get to go to these events for free. Another way, which this is the last way I'll talk about, which was new to me, was there was a CES conference back in, or CIS, one of the consumer tech conferences in
Vegas.
January in Vegas. Yeah. And somebody reached out to me and said that they wanted to go on behalf of Metaintro to film content. And that's a great way to go for free, because then employers can sponsor you. And we would be able to go, Metaintro would have then been able to go for free as press. And so that's also a really creative way. If there's a project that you're passionate about, that you're like, hey, this project can totally use exposure to this conference, reach out to that project, say, hey, I'd love to go on behalf of you, film some content, write some content, do something creative, like represent the company, like at the hackathons or whatever that may be. I almost guarantee you that depending on how big the project is, they'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, that's awesome. And then from there, you can strategize with that project on how you want to apply to go for free to that conference, whether that's as press, whether that's as 50 other ways to go. So don't let prices discourage you, because I know for me, I look at these and I'm like, that's insane that you want that much money for a ticket. So back to you, Alex.
Yeah, just want to this. So, for example, guys, also if you have a let's say, very big YouTube channel, Instagram,
Hmm.
Twitter, you can also apply as press, and you can say, I want to cover the event. I have,
Yep.
let's say, 10,000 followers on Twitter, X amount of followers on YouTube, and this would allow you to become a would this would allow you to get a press pass for the
Yep.
event, completely free. So that's kind of a hack how to get a free pass into those conferences. Okay, so the next one is Crypto Expo in Dubai, 8 to 9 March, so just happening for one day. Yeah, I think if I mean great event. Dubai is known for having, I mean, it's kind of a crypto hub of Middle East. So if you're there, 100% check it out. And moving forward, FinTech
Yeah.
India Expo, 27th to 29th March, happening in New Delhi, India. It's also going to be a big event. But my favorite one that is coming up next is Consensus by CoinDesk, happening on 26th to 20th of April in Austin, Texas. I think
So
this one will be
expensive.
very, very big. It's going to be expensive, yes.
Very expensive.
Yeah, but there's going to be so many great speakers, and there's going to be so many people that, meeting would be life changing if you're looking for a job and such. And, after this, we're going to dive into how to approach those people to, get a job.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're looking also through some of these events, looking at who the speakers are, the past speakers, looking at the sponsors of the event will give you a rough idea of how big the event will be, which will allow you to, you know, do a cost benefit analysis on that event and whether or not that is worth your time to go. Because you want to make sure that whatever your career goals and your networking goals are aligned with what that crypto conference is. And some of these crypto conferences, which I don't feel like we talk a lot about, is some of these conferences are more B2B based. Like it's more meant for companies to network with other companies to like as a biz dev type of conference. And then others are more consumer facing, kind of like ETH Denver. Consensus, I would say, is like kind of lies on the line between the two. Tickets are really high, but the companies that go are meant to like network with the companies that are there. However, because it's CoinDesk, they tracked a lot of individuals that could be consumers of those companies. So just keep that in mind as you're going through some of these events. Like you'll see after hearing this, you'll see like, oh, this one kind of feels a little bit more B2B. Maybe I should skip out on this one. Or, hey, this one feels like there's a ton of side events happening. There's a ton of great speakers. This is definitely worth my time to go sit, network, and meet other people in the space.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. And also, guys, I mean, this life is not just for people that are looking to, build their network, but also for people that are, maybe they have their startup and they're trying to get investments and they're trying to pitch their project to different investors. Those events are also great for pitching your project to potential investors because lots of those investors will be on stage speaking, talking about, different projects that they are investing into and so on. So it's always good to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Next,
Yes.
Blockchain Economy Istanbul Summit, happening on the 8th to 11th of May, Istanbul, Turkey.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's a good event. I mean, all of those events are good. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
where you're located and if you're have the ability to travel and check it out.
Yep.
And the next one, Tel Aviv Blockchain Week, 28th to 4th of June. It's a long one. I think it's gonna be good. If
Yeah.
you're in the area, definitely stop by.
Yeah. Tel Aviv has a lot of conferences.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
yeah. I mean, they do. They are moving towards Web3 more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto Valley Conference, Switzerland, 1st to 2nd of June. Actually, I was very surprised. Switzerland to me was always a very conservative country in terms of the bank, Swiss banks and everything that is related to Switzerland. Very conservative, but lately, well, I mean, not lately, probably for the past year or longer, I see that Switzerland is investing a lot of money into Web3, into crypto, and they're building lots of great things in Switzerland that are Web3 related.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's that new. I think. Wait, hold on. Before I say this, I think it was out of Switzerland. The new rehab center for crypto enthusiasts. Hold on. Did you see that?
no, what do you mean, like a
Oh my
re?
God. No, no, no. Yeah, you heard me right. Rehab center crypto.
Wow,
I read it on
that's mind blowing. Now we have rehab centers for crypto people.
yeah,
Is
it's
it
all
in
about how
Spain?
you can be addicted to crypto, and there's a rehab center for it. Oh no, it's in Spain. Just kidding. Yeah,
Well,
so Spanish.
close.
Close. Spanish
Close.
Rehab Center adds crypto trading addiction to services list. The Rehab Center cited estimates that about 1% of cryptocurrency traders will develop an extreme addiction to crypto trading. The center is called The Balance. No,
All right.
it's a Switzerland-founded wellness center. That's where I was getting that from. With its main facility located in the Spanish island of Mallorca, with branches in
Mallorca. Oh, that's a
there you go,
beautiful island.
and branches in London and Zurich. And starting, wait, let's see. There was a report that came out that the center's clients reached out so that they can wean off crypto after reportedly putting in 200,000 worth of trades each week, which is what prompted this. The bill, though, for this rehab center, which involves therapy, massages, and yoga, will cost around $75,000. So.
But it's gonna be a great networking place. You're gonna meet so many
God,
interesting
that's
people.
awful. That's hilarious.
No, I mean, I just
Okay.
wonder, um, just the joke that people that trade crypto, especially if it's bear market or bull market, after having lots of trades, they might, switch their profession to working at McDonald's. Where's the rehab in between?
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, this is for, addiction comes in all different shapes and sizes. Who are we to judge? But I think this was interesting because it like definitely made the news. It was the first of its kind. So,
And
anyways,
awesome.
yeah. Okay, so diving back into this. Okay, so that's the
I
last
have the
one.
last one. It's Block Chance, 28 to 30th June,
Mm-hmm.
Hamburg, Germany. Yeah, so as you can see just from the events that I was going through, there's so many events that are happening in the EU.
Yep.
I mean, London, I still kind of consider it's not part of EU, but kind of consider it also EU because it's just so close. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
London, Switzerland, Germany,
Yeah.
so on. I mean, France is happening. Also, this it was not included here, but there's a Paris Blockchain Week, which is also happening soon. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see what you
Let me
got.
share. All right. Let me pull it out.
Also, while you're pulling up the list, I just want to also say that, guys, if you're going to those events to build network, make sure that you do research of all speakers before you go there, so that for example, this speaker is hiring for, let's say, community management role, and I'm trying to become a community mod. If that's the case, it's
Mm-hmm.
always good to know a little bit more about the company, about this person's background. You can search on LinkedIn, and then once you see that person somewhere, behind the scene, just come up and talk to him or her
Yep.
about it, and try to see if you can maybe pass your resume, or get their LinkedIn information, connect, maybe get a job. This is a
Yeah.
good way of networking with employers.
So here's the other list. I use December Labs, and this has a bunch of other events, some that are US based. Like here you can see some Austin, Texas, Johannesburg, Washington, D.C., decentralized. That should be fun. American Metaverse Award. We were just nominated for that. So if you have a chance to go vote for us, please do, as like the scale up startup to watch. There's also one missing in here, International Women's Blockchain. I will
IWB.
drop it in the comments. Yeah, I'll drop it in the comments. That's happening in DC at the end of March. Should be somewhere in here. Consensus. Let's see what else is good in here. There's a ton of great stuff. And these are all like the stand-up conferences. The other one that I wanted to kind of point towards, like, let's say you're like, hey, Lacey, these are all great, but I don't have time to travel. I don't have capital to spend on this, but I still want to network in real life. So you can also go to Meetup. I know in LA there's Crypto Mondays. Yesterday I saw from Launch House's newsletter that there was NFT Tuesdays now, which is a thing. Yeah, this happens everywhere. These types of events. And if you just go to meetup.com and type in just like crypto and whatever area you're in, you'll see events pop up. And like this is a massive group. There's 3,400 people a part
Wow.
of this group. Yeah. So, and I know with Crypto Mondays, they bring in new speakers. They like host it at different places. Sometimes it's a brewery or a coffee shop or cocktails. It's usually in the evenings. And it's a good way to just like be around a bunch of other people in crypto. And this costs you a beer and gas, you know, to go drive over. And so these are just as equally great opportunities to network with other job seekers, employers, experts in the space. So if you just don't feel like spending a ton of money on the big conferences, this is great too.
Yeah. Did you attend any of those?
I haven't gone to this. I've wanted to go a few times. I've had a few people tell me about how awesome this is, but I have not. So,
Got it. Well, me too. But I think I will definitely try to go to one of those.
Yeah. Oh, this looks awful. Why does this look so awful? Okay. Excuse why that looks so bad. Another thing that I wanted to call out, just because our newsletter that went out this morning highlighted networking tips and tricks. And I just wanted us to kind of quickly go through it before we hop off on the live. Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we went over this one, get a QR code for people to scan. Second one, wear a funny t-shirt about crypto. Who knows, it can help you cold start a conversation. I think this is fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, this will grab attention. Like people
Totally.
will notice you, 100%.
Yeah, you could even make like a custom t-shirt that, you know, has something about Bitcoin on the back and your QR code that links to your link tree on the other side. You know, like you can get creative about it.
I
Yeah.
love the QR code on the t-shirt, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
This way, any like people walking behind you, let's say you have it on your back, will be curious. Where will this QR code take me? They'll
Yeah.
get it on their phone.
Yeah. I think like with crypto, you know, I don't know how it is for men, but for women, I remember at ETH Denver last year, it was a big conversation of like, what do you wear when you go to these events? You know, like it's crypto, so is everybody wearing a hoodie or people dressed up? You know, are people wearing suits and ties? And I think that depends on the conference that you're going to. Like consensus, you know, people might be a little bit like more put together. I mean, I don't know. Versus like a crypto Mondays, people are coming after work, they're wearing, you know, their hoodie, you know, they're just trying to be comfortable to drink a beer. So, you know, your style is your style at the end of the day, and it is Web3, and you can own you wear your confidence. But I think there's always an opportunity throughout any of these crypto conferences to wear something funny, like a Bitcoin shirt, an Ethereum shirt, a Polygon shirt, something that can help you start a conversation. Because I guarantee you, people will come up to you and go, "Oh my gosh, I love that T-shirt."
Or if you're looking for, let's say, community mod job, just right, looking for community mod.
Yeah, you totally could. And
Yeah,
that's
you QR code on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. So, so that's number two. Number three, go to side events. I don't know about. Yeah, this is a good one. I feel like also, I don't know how your crypto universe looks like, Alex, but on mine, sometimes it could be hard to find the side events. And I only find the side events because of the Telegram groups that I'm in. And so what you do to find those, because it's not like published anywhere for the most part, for most times, you have to go to the official Telegram group or unofficial Telegram group of that conference, and then somebody will have started and posted the unofficial side events Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I would just talk about Quantum Miami that just happened, the way they did it for the side events, it was so good. They had a special app that you can download on your phone. You go there and it has like a special tab for side events. You press on it and you can just, register with one click to side event. It's where to go. Which I thought was really cool.
And side events too, depending on like what event you're going to, it could be super exhausting. There will be 20 side events happening in a day and people hop from party to party to party. And again, it just depends on like what your networking goals are, what you're interested in. But those side events, some people will go to the conference and not even buy the conference ticket. They'll just go to the side events. Yeah, like I met somebody that was doing that for the Mazzari conference back in September. Yeah, and I was like, aren't you coming into the conference? We were walking around outside. He goes, no, I'm just going to all the side events. Like, why would I spend $800 on a ticket to a conference where the same people are going to be at the bar later? And I was like, well, that's a good idea. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and side events most of the time are free. Rarely they'll
Yes.
charge you, a fee for a ticket.
Yes.
But even if they do, usually it's like $25, $50 max. And if
Yeah.
it's a good event, it's way worth it.
So going on to the next one, go into the event with a clear call to action. I think this one, is obvious, but I think also it's a good reminder that, hey, like, what are your goals of this conference and how are you going to follow through with those goals post the conference? Is it sending somebody a message after? Is it applying to somebody's job after? Keeping like a note tab while you're going through the conference. It's good, just as a reminder to give yourself a to-do list, if you will, after the event.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5, be active on crypto Twitter. I don't know how Quantum was, Alex, but crypto, I feel like a lot of people will buzz around crypto Twitter and actively tweet about the conference while it's happening. And it's a good, yeah, maybe, I don't know how it was at Quantum.
I mean, Quantum just didn't have as many people as usually, those conferences have.
Yeah.
But make sure that you have a really good presence on Twitter, because lots of people were asking me for my Twitter handle when I was, talking to them, building connections. So yeah, you have a Twitter account that is empty, not a good sign for crypto people.
Yeah. I would spend time and we've done lives about this in the past. So if you're watching the recording of this, go to our playlists, our lives playlist, and there should be one about optimizing your crypto Twitter. Do that before you go to the conferences. You want your Twitter to look good. You want the banner, you want the pinned tweet, you want the link in the bio. You want to make sure it's clean because you will be networking with it. And if you are live tweeting about the event, you're trying to network on Twitter while you're at the event, which a ton of people do, make sure it's ready to go. Just like you would your resume before you go into a job networking session event. And then last thing, don't overthink. I think this one says it for itself. Introducing yourself and building relationships is simpler than you might think. Just be genuine, have fun, and network, be casual. There's so much anxiety that goes through these events, I feel like, with people, and everybody's in the same boat. It's tough to network, depending on what your personality is. It's socially draining, and there's a lot of anxiety around it. So go in with some, think about some opening liners that you can start with, Alex, for some of our TikTok content, you were asking people, who do you think invented Bitcoin? That's a funny way to open up, a conversation. So go with some of those in mind. It'll help.
Yeah, and don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just come up to people, and all people that come to those type of conferences, they love networking, and they'll be super happy to answer any questions that you might have. So yeah, don't be shy. Just come up and speak to people.
Yep. So I think that's all I have. I mean, we went over tips and tricks. We went over where to find those events, like apparel, what you should be wearing, what you should bring, and yeah, I think that's what we have.
Yeah.
Anything else that we should have added?
No, honestly, I think that is it. I think we've covered the most important, how to get there for free without paying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really hope that whoever will be watching this afterwards will use this tip and try to get.
Yep, me too. And since we're on the topic of conferences, we'll be hosting / partnering / being the lead sponsor at the IWB event at the end of March. So if you are a job seeker and you're interested in the future of work and all of that great stuff, we will post the event in our Discord. It's in DC. All the information will be there on how to register and what to expect. But this will be our first IRL participation in an event, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, I think it's going to be a very big event. And
Yeah.
It's going to be big for Metaintro because this is the first major event where we're going to be participating.
Yeah, very excited.
Me too.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Drop your comments below in the comments section. If there's any other lives that you want us to do or topics you want us to talk about, please, please, please suggest those. And in the meantime, if you're looking for a Web3 job, head over to our Discord. There are hundreds of jobs posted every week that are technical and non-technical. And I think that's it.
No. One more thing.
No?
Subscribe.
There's one more?
Subscribe. Hit this red button, subscribe, and we'll be super thankful if you're going to do that. So we can make more great content. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.